What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video here on CFL Central, CFL content for the fans by the fans. Now, I am joined by Carter, as always. Carter, how you doing tonight?
I am doing pretty good.
Glad to hear it, my friend. Glad to
I'm
hear it.
drinking a great glass of Fresca right now.
Only the freshest here on CFL Central, ladies and gentlemen. Only the freshest.
There we go.
But today, we're going to be talking about Day 2 of the CFL free agency. We already covered Day 1. Very, very busy day. I believe we had, 54 players, something crazy like that, signing on Day 1.
We had 45 players signed on Day 1.
45. Still a crazy... I did. Like I said, a lot of players, easy to get those numbers confused. A lot of players signing, a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Day 2, a lot quieter, as expected, right? You know, all the big names have kind of moved on, and you've got
still
more
decently active, though. We got 16 players that signed today, so
16. A lot of more depth signings today. You know, more of those like filler spots, not even like third string, just really good second position guys. You know, like that on your roster, defense and offensive side of the ball. And yeah, we are very excited.
With
to talk
a few
about
exceptions.
Yes, exactly. A few exceptions as well. So, Carter, why don't you just take the people right into this list and let's get these players named.
Yeah, let's first go through everyone that signed. So we had Jalen Ackland signed with the Red Blacks. Shaq Johnson signed with the Red Blacks. Trevor Harris, as we had we were unsure of this past evening, but now it's confirmed he has re-signed with the Alouettes after being dropped by the Alouettes. So technically not a re-signing, but he didn't play for any other team. DJ Lalama signed with the Stampeders. Patrick Levels signed with the Red Blacks. Monstradrick Hunter signed with the Red Blacks. Isaac Harker signed with the Lions. Adrian Tracy signed with the Argonauts. Micah Johnson signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Kevin Francis signed with the Lions. Jamar McGolster signed with the Lions. Nakas Onyeka signed with the Elks. Charlie Power signed with the re-signed with the Stampeders. J.R. Tavai signed with the Tiger Cats. Tony Brown of the formerly the Cincinnati Bengals, his last season
Super Bowl bound, baby.
His last season was in 2020 from the NFL, signed with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and then Almondo Sewell re-signed with the Montreal Alouettes. So a few decent-sized signings in here, with the first big one being Jalen Ackland. He was quite outstanding for the Hamilton Tiger Cats this past season. He was at times your number one guy that you'd even go to over Brandon Banks. He has been an absolute force with the Tiger Cats the 2 seasons he was with them, with him recording his first season over 700 receiving yards, and his second season with 3 less games almost 700 yards. So it's no I don't think it is a long shot at all to say that he would have absolutely passed 700 given those extra 3 games. Possibly wouldn't have even gotten close to 800. So quite a good receiver that you got there, and he's only 26 years of age. So how do you feel with the Red Blacks signing Jalen Ackland?
Honestly, I really like it. You know, when you look at Ackland and you look at him in the playoffs, right? 112 yards in the Eastern Conference Final game. He was crucial in Hamilton coming back in that game and beating the Argonauts to get to the Grey Cup again. And yeah, he's a really good up-and-coming kind of receiver. He's 26 years old. He's been 2 years in the CFL, going to his 3rd season. Like you said, Carter, talking about his stats. He's been very consistent. And the other thing I like to note is that he had 4 touchdowns last year and averaging over 13.6 yards a carry on only 50 recorded catches. That's pretty damn impressive. So this is a guy that can catch the ball deep, can catch the ball midfield, and be really effective at holding it and gaining some yards after the catch is made. So yeah, I really think he's going to be a good addition to the Red Black system, as well as I think it also is a little underrated that some people might not realizing is that Jeremiah Mazzoli gets his favorite target from this past season back with him on the Red Blacks. So, you know, obviously Banks is Banks and he's great, but Ackland, like you said, definitely kind of jumped up the ranks this year and last year too. So I think this is going to be a good combo over there, especially with Darvin Adams as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see how they're going to look.
The Ottawa Red Blacks are looking consistently more and more scary. And I got to say, for some of the things that Hamilton has done right, I think their dropping of Jeremiah Mazzoli was the right move for them. And that's not to say that it wasn't the right move for the Red Blacks to then pick up Mazzoli. It was the right move for the team, but the Hamilton Tiger Cats have really kind of screwed the pooch in the receiving core. I mean, Banks is gone. And then so when Banks is gone, I think that makes it obvious to the Tiger Cats that they have to lock down Jalen Ackland because he's only 26. He's a young guy. Letting that guy walk free is not ideal at all. So I can't imagine Tiger Cats fans being too happy about Jalen Ackland leaving after only his second season there.
Exactly.
So
I would be
that's
pretty
going to be a
pissed too.
tough one for them. They also, with them also signing Shaq Johnson, who was not bad, but I mean, like now you got Jalen Ackland and Darvin Adams in the same receiving core, so a very strong receiving core for the Red Blacks. And I think this is exactly what they needed because I mean their offense has pretty much all come together because I mean they already had a decent running back system. They got their QB that they needed. They then reinforced the offensive line on it in day one of free agency and gave them one receiving option. And now they just gave them their second. So now they're going to have to force defenses to really take a guess between these two guys. So great move by the Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
So what do you think about our other bigger signing, Micah Johnson?
I think it's a good signing. Obviously, Saskatchewan, he was kind of, okay with. He wasn't as good as he was with Calgary in 2018 going into his 2 seasons in Saskatchewan. But, he's older now, 33 years old. But Johnson's been a very consistent presence as a defensive lineman for a while now. And I think that he's going to fit in quite nicely this upcoming season on his new team. So I think it's a good move. And I don't really think that it's got it's a win-win if you're signing him because at the end of the day if he's not the greatest it's whatever, it's a 1-year deal, but at the end of the day if he bounces back a little bit, he's a consistent guy who's had been really good. Look in 2018, 14 sacks, the year before that 9 sacks, 7 sacks the year before, right? Like he's been very consistent, and then in 2019 4 sacks and only 2 this year. But it was a different game this year in the CFL and the time off and everything. So he could have a little bit left in the gas, and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring next year on his new club.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that does beg the question now. Who do we think, Jake, who do you think won day 2 of the free agency frenzy?
It's easy for me. It's the Ottawa Red Blacks. Just signing Ackland, a young up-and-coming receiver, already familiar with your new quarterback for the next 2 years. Yeah, he fits the system. You can go on. Ottawa's done a really good job at surrounding themselves with talent this offseason where they had none. Some teams are going out and bolstering where they already had talent, and that's smart. But you also need to kind of reinforce the weaknesses on your team that have already been there. And the Ottawa Red Blacks had a lot of weaknesses. So they've went out this year and they've kind of really at least checked the box, maybe not completely depth-wise, but at least checked the box with an upgrade in almost every major category that they desperately needed, right? Quarterback, receiving core, offensive line, defensive line. So I think that although they're probably not a god tier just yet at being a Grey Cup contender, at least in my eyes right now, until we actually see some more of this roster fill up and some practice
they've not played yet.
Exactly, right? So I got a lot of questions left for this team too, as well as how well Mazzoli is actually going to play at his age based off of his recession the last couple of years. But I still think that they're setting themselves up for a better season than what we saw last year. So that's all I can ask for.
For sure.
And I don't really think it comes closer in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with the Red Blacks. The only other team that I thought did a pretty solid job today was the Hamilton Tiger Cats, also picking up Tony Brown from the NFL. Any sort of NFL signing into the CFL, for the most part, is almost always going to bring you some really good talent. I mean, if we look at let's take a look at the best defensive guy in the CFL this past season, Adam Bighill. He was with the New Orleans Saints. So, getting guys that have that NFL experience can really translate well into quite a strong CFL player. So I think if it's one of those things where if it's like Johnny Manziel and it doesn't work, then so what? You drop the guy. But if it does work, you could really game yourself a gem. So I think Hamilton taking a chance like that and trying something a bit new with a guy who's not ingrained into the CFL, I think it's a smart move for them to at least give a try with that. Giving another option, another receiving option after losing Ackland and Banks. If you can possibly get a gem out of this guy, that would be that's exactly what the Tiger Cats need. So, but I do think that with the Red Blacks signing a proven receiving talent in Jalen Ackland, I gotta say the Red Blacks win day 2 as well as day 1 of the free agency frenzy. I mean, it's one of those things where they realized that their systems that they had, the guys they had in their systems were not working. So they have all the pieces. The big question now is that are the pieces all going to mesh together? It's also going to depend on, like you said, with Mazzoli's age. So I'm excited to see the Red Blacks this next season. I think they will make the playoffs. Now, where they will make the playoffs, in what position that is, I don't know.
Yeah, same here. We're gonna have to wait and see. So yeah, we hope you enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen. If you did, let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let us know who your winner of day 2 is. Let us know who you think has had the best start to CFL free agency as a whole over the first 48 hours. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to check out all the affiliated links down in the description below as always. I think Carter is trying to say something before I wrap this up.
Yes. And make sure this Sunday you check out our exclusive interview with none other than Bombers running back Johnny Augustine.
Yes, so 12 o'clock Central Time. Adjust your time zones if you don't live in Central Time. So yeah, we look forward to that. Ask some questions on this if you don't. It's too late in the evening for me to do any math right now other than the math I have on my screen about contracts and stats. So have a great rest of your evening, day, morning, whenever you're watching this, as the Nolan Hockey Podcast would say. And yeah,
you know us too well.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. See you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.